So I attended the iQOO Z7 Pro's launch briefing, and during that briefing, iQOO straight out compared the Z7 Pro with the Nord CE3, and at that moment I was like, okay, that's kind of brave, because the Nord CE3 is not only a well-priced smartphone, it is also one of the best overall packages that you can find right now in the sub 30,000 rupees price space. But you know what? After having used the iQOO Z7 Pro for a while, I think so that this phone is better than the Nord CE3. Hello everyone, I'm here for Fiber, and this is probably the biggest mid-range smartphone battle. This is the Fiiber-style 6-hour battery and performance test comparison between the newly launched iQOO Z7 Pro and the current hot seller in the sub 30,000 rupees price segment, the OnePlus Nord CE3. But of course, before we get on with the rest of the episode, consider hitting that red subscribe button for detailed tech videos, and also turn on the bell so that you don't miss any of our latest updates. With that said, let's get started. Now a quick look at the spec sheet of both smartphones, and you will notice there's not much of a difference here. But to tell you closely, the Nord CE3 here gives you a 12 GB RAM option, and the storage type on the Nord CE3 is also UFS 3.1 as opposed to UFS 2.2 on the Z7 Pro. Plus, the battery and charging speeds are also comparatively less on the iQOO Z7 Pro. So going by the specs, is the Nord CE3 straight out a better phone, or does the iQOO Z7 Pro have a chance to redeem itself? And you know why I say that this is a better phone over the Nord CE3? Because I have used both these phones separately, and based on my experience, I think the performance that I got, the camera performance that I got, the overall user experience, I think the iQOO Z7 Pro was a better phone than the Nord CE3. But after this battery and performance test comparison, we are definitely going to have an objective decision. We are definitely going to have a clear winner between both these smartphones. So starting off with the 2 hours of YouTube video playback, and without a shadow of a doubt, both smartphones have top-notch AMOLED panels in the mid-range price segment. Features such as 120Hz refresh rate, 10-bit colors, HDR10 playback, I mean, you name it and these phones have it. However, they do differ a bit in tuning, as you can see in the footage. Now with adaptive brightness turned on, both get plenty of bright outdoors, with the iQOO having the advantage of being the brighter one among the two. Similarly, in this indoor situation as well, at 50% manual brightness and with the video enhancement features turned on for both smartphones, it is the iQOO Z7 Pro's display that looked more visually appealing to me. Granted, the colors happen to fall on the saturated spectrum versus the more natural approach on the Nord CE3's panel, which by the way looks quite good, but my typical human nature here just can't ignore the vibrancy of the Z7 Pro's display. Plus, aesthetically it is curved, which I know is not very practical over a flat display, but I think it is a win-win for the iQOO Z7 Pro. Okay, 2 hours have passed, and right now the OnePlus Nord CE3 has taken the lead with a 93% battery left, while the iQOO Z7 Pro is trailing behind with 88% battery left. And by the way, which phone's display did you find better? Let me know everything in the comments, and let's move on to the 1080p video recording. Okay, while both the phones record an hour of 1080p videos, here's a quick look at the camera specifications of both smartphones. The iQOO Z7 Pro features a 64 megapixel rear camera with OIS coupled with a 2 megapixel depth sensor and a 16 megapixel front-facing snapper for selfies. For videos, the rear camera supports up to 4K 30 FPS recording, while the front supports up to 1080p 30 FPS recording. The OnePlus Nord CE3 on the other hand features a 50 megapixel primary camera with EIS coupled with an 8 megapixel ultra-wide angle camera, a 2 megapixel macro camera and a 16 megapixel selfie snapper. For videos, the Nord CE3 can do up to 4K 60 FPS from the rear, but the front video recording is restricted to 1080p 30 FPS, just like the iQOO Z7 Pro. Now here are some of the comparison photos of both the iQOO Z7 Pro and the OnePlus Nord CE3 on your screens. Now an in-depth comparison between both phones, which will also have a detailed section of the cameras, is in the works. That video will soon go live on Fiber Hindi. If you don't want to miss that, then I definitely suggest that you subscribe to both our Fiber Hindi and Fiber English YouTube channels. But for now, 3 hours have passed in the test, and the Nord CE3 is still in the lead with 73% battery, while the iQOO Z7 Pro is trailing with 66% battery left. Time for some hard-hitting tasks, so we start with the Geekbench 6 on both smartphones, but first the specifications. The iQOO Z7 Pro is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 7200 SoC, which is a new 4nm chipset. This is coupled with 8GB LPDDR4X RAM and up to 256GB UFS 2.2 storage. The Nord CE on the other hand is powered by the Snapdragon 782G chipset, which is an overclocked Snapdragon 778G chip. This phone features up to 12GB LPDDR4X RAM coupled with up to 256GB faster UFS 3.1 storage. Now, last time around I compared the individual benchmark scores of both smartphones where the Nord CE slightly edged out the Z7 Pro. However, right now both phones are against each other, and with a little over 3 hours gone, the iQOO Z7 Pro managed to score better than the Nord CE in Geekbench 6, suggesting in the real world the Dimensity 7200 should be better than the Snapdragon 782G at handling light as well as heavy tasks. Now, after testing a bunch of OnePlus phones, I have found that OnePlus devices aren't among the ones that score high in benchmarks. So similarly, AnTuTu's performance also suggests that the Z7 Pro should be better at handling demanding tasks. In fact, the MEM score suggests that the UFS 2.2 storage is almost on par with the faster UFS 3.1 storage inside the Nord CE. So good optimization there on the part of iQOO. Now, in the 3D Mark stress test and not the extreme stress test, which is recommended for flagship smartphones, again the iQOO Z7 Pro pulled through with a slightly better stability score of 99.1% versus 98.5% of the Nord CE, but the average loop score is so much better on the Z7 Pro that the Nord CE does not have any chance here. As for the CPU throttle test, honestly the Nord CE performed quite valiantly with a score of 90%, but the test for the Z7 Pro showed that no throttling was detected. You know, I once got the same result for some phone I don't remember in the past. At that time I thought it must be a bug, but looking at the iQOO Z7 Pro's graph, I think yes, the phone actually did not throttle and the graph did hover around the 100% mark. Now, here's a breakdown of the benchmarks on your screens right now. You can pause and take a look. Okay, before we head on to the gaming round, quickly the battery statistics. So the Nord CE is still in the lead with 59% battery left, while the Z7 Pro is trailing with 47% battery left. Now, when it comes to the real world gaming, I mostly play a lot of Call of Duty Mobile, and both phones here are very apt at running the game. The iQOO Z7 Pro one-ups the Nord CE by supporting 120 FPS in COD Mobile, although the graphics dials down to low settings, which is a shame. Nevertheless, both phones can run most of the graphics intensive games out there, be it Call of Duty Mobile, which can easily run at up to 90 FPS, or this game that I am running for the test, Asphalt 9 at up to 60 FPS. Performance-wise, you will find no issues with both. Thermal management is also very good on both smartphones, with the Z7 Pro again being the better one during prolonged sessions. And despite the same 1200 Hz touch sampling rate on both devices, taps and touches once again felt more accurate on the Z7 Pro. So overall, as I said, both phones are very good at gaming. However, for the slight edge with better thermals over long gaming sessions and for the better touch input, I will say the iQOO Z7 Pro is a better pick here over the Nord CE when it comes to gaming. Okay, we are a little over 5 hours now, and while the Nord CE drained more battery in the gaming round, it is still in the lead with 44% battery left, while the iQOO Z7 Pro has a 35% battery left. Okay, social media time, and so for an hour from here I will be playing a bunch of reels, but yeah, without keeping you waiting for the final minute, fast forwarding to the 6-hour mark, and as I had predicted in my iQOO Z7 Pro's review also, the Nord CE finishes at top with a 34% battery left, while the iQOO Z7 Pro wraps it up with a 26% battery left. Here's an hour-by-hour breakdown of the battery drain of both smartphones on your screens right now. So after this test, one thing is very sure, that if the iQOO Z7 Pro would have had an equivalent 5000 mAh battery under the hood, the final result would have been any phone's game. Because while the Nord CE is well optimized, it did have an advantage in the test because of the bigger battery. Because if you see, while the Nord CE would be more battery efficient for watching videos, when it comes to gaming and social media, the iQOO Z7 Pro does have the edge. Either way, I will again say both phones are well optimized, but still for a lower price point, a better screen, better overall performance and almost the same battery efficiency, the iQOO Z7 Pro is a better pick over the OnePlus Nord CE. But most importantly, what do you guys think about both these smartphones? Let me know everything in the comments below, and as always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Fiber. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.